You're not leadership material, Mom scoffed, adjusting her executive vice president nameplate on her desk at GlobalTech Industries. Leadership requires presence, authority, strategic thinking, not hiding behind computer screens all day. I stood in her corner office, my latest proposal for AI integration clutched in my hands. The irony of being lectured about leadership by someone who still used a BlackBerry in 2025 wasn't lost on me. The AI division I built has the highest profit margins in the company, I replied calmly. We've automated processes that were bleeding money for decades. Playing with computers isn't leadership, Sarah, Dad chimed in from his CFO chair. Real leaders are out there making deals, commanding rooms. Like your sister Jessica. Now there's executive material. Yes, Jessica. The golden child. Senior VP of sales at 35, already being groomed for higher positions. Never mind that her division's growth was largely driven by the AI tools I developed. The Thompson meeting starts in 10 minutes, Mom's assistant called through the intercom. They're waiting in the main conference room. We'll finish this discussion later, Mom stood, straightening her power suit. Though honestly, Sarah, these constant proposals for advancement, maybe it's time to accept that some people are meant to be support staff. Support staff. At 32 with 2 master's degrees from MIT and a track record of successful innovations, I was still just support staff to them. Actually, I said, gathering my things, I won't be here later. I have a meeting across town. Another tech seminar? Dad asked dismissively. Or one of those coding workshops you're always running off to? I smiled, thinking about the real nature of my meeting. Something like that. Walking through GlobalTech's offices, I passed Jessica holding court with her sales team, their laughter echoing through the halls. She saw me and waved condescendingly. Hey sis. Still trying to convince Mom about that robot thing. AI integration. I corrected automatically. And no, I'm done trying to convince anyone here of anything. My phone buzzed. A message from Marcus Chin, my contact at Victoria Corp, the largest tech conglomerate in the sector. Board meeting confirmed. Everything's set. 6 months of secret negotiations, careful planning, and strategic moves were about to pay off. But my family didn't know that. They didn't know a lot of things about their support staff daughter. They didn't know that while they were dismissing my computer games, I was building one of the most sophisticated AI systems in the industry. They didn't know that their star clients, the ones Jessica claimed as her sales victories, were actually staying because of my technology. And they certainly didn't know about tomorrow's industry conference announcement. In my own office, a cramped space deliberately positioned far from the executive floor, I checked my presentation one last time. Tomorrow at the annual Tech Leadership Summit, everything would change. My phone buzzed again. Your new office is ready. Corner suite, 47th floor. The view is spectacular. I looked around my current space with its outdated furniture and single window overlooking the parking lot. Mom had put me here 3 years ago, saying I needed to earn my way up. Well, I had earned it. Just not the way they expected. Another message came through. Press release is prepared. Embargo lifts at 10 a.m. tomorrow, right after the announcement. I sent a quick reply. Perfect. Make sure GlobalTech's executive team has front row seats at the conference. I want them to have the best view possible. Standing up, I took one last look at my small office. By this time tomorrow, I'd be sitting in a very different space making very different decisions. My assistant, one of the few people who knew what was coming, poked her head in. Car's ready for your meeting, Ms. Chin. And your family's secretary just sent the conference schedule. They're all confirmed for tomorrow's session. Thank you, Rachel. Make sure everything's packed and ready for tomorrow's move. He grinned. Already done. I can't wait to see their faces when they what? Jessica's voice cut in as she appeared in my doorway. Are you finally getting that promotion to middle management you've been hoping for? I shouldered my bag containing the contracts that would reshape our entire industry. Something like that, Jess. See you at the conference tomorrow. Front row, she smirked. With the other executives. You'll be somewhere in the back with the tech team, I assume. Oh, I'll be there, I replied. Exactly where I belong. The Victoria Corp boardroom buzzed with anticipation. 30 of the most powerful people in tech sat around a massive table, all eyes focused on me as I finished my presentation. With the integration of GlobalTech's AI division, which to be clear means my team and my technology Victoria Corp will control 60% of the market, I concluded, watching the stock projections dance across the wall screens. Marcus Chin, Victoria's CEO, leaned forward. And you're certain your family has no idea? They think I'm at a coding workshop, I laughed. They've been so busy dismissing me, they never noticed who actually owns GlobalTech's AI patents. The truth was delicious in its simplicity. Every innovation, every algorithm, every piece of code that had kept GlobalTech competitive over the last 5 years, I'd registered them all in my own name, not the company's. A detail buried in contracts they'd signed without reading, too confident in their assumption that their support staff daughter wouldn't understand legal complexities. The papers are ready, Victoria's legal head announced. Once the announcement is made tomorrow, the transition begins immediately. I signed the final documents, each signature taking me further from the shadow of my family's condescension. My new business cards arrived. Sarah Chin, CEO of Advanced Technologies Division, Victoria Corporation. Your parents are going to be surprised, Marcus commented as we wrapped up. Surprised. I smiled. They're going to be devastated. Not because of what I've achieved, but because they'll finally realize what they've lost. Flashback, 3 months earlier. The AI division is crucial to our survival, Dad argued in the executive meeting I wasn't supposed to know about. We need to expand it. Agreed, Mom replied. But Sarah's not the one to lead that expansion. We need someone with real executive experience. Jessica, ever helpful, chimed in. I know some great candidates from my Harvard network. Real leaders, not just programmers. They never checked who actually owned the technology they were discussing. Never questioned why their star programmer worked such long hours, had so many workshops to attend, took so many mysterious calls. Their assumption that I was just a glorified coder had made everything so much easier. Present day. Back at my soon-to-be former office, I packed the last of my personal items. Rachel helped, barely containing her excitement. Your new office is amazing, she gushed. All glass and chrome with a view of the entire city. And wait until you see your executive bathroom. Did you pack the special items for tomorrow? I asked. She patted a sleek briefcase. All here. Your new business cards, the press release copies, and the official announcement papers. Oh, and that photo you wanted. I pulled out the frame, a family picture from last year's company picnic. Mom and Dad flanking Jessica, their pride evident in every smile. Me relegated to the edge of the frame, almost an afterthought. Tomorrow that dynamic would change forever. My phone buzzed with messages from my family. Mom, don't forget the conference tomorrow. Try to dress professionally for once. Dad, stay with your tech team during the conference. Executive section is reserved for senior leadership. Jessica, saved you a seat in the back with the IT crowd. Winking face. I replied to none of them, instead sending a message to Marcus. Everything ready for tomorrow? His response was immediate. Stage is set. Photographers placed. Your family's front row seats are confirmed. It's going to be quite a show. Rachel handed me my coat. Your car's waiting. New apartment all set up too. The penthouse view is incredible. Another detail my family had missed. My modest salary had been supplemented by licensing fees from my patents for years. The parking lot Toyota they mocked? A convenient prop. The small apartment they pitted? A temporary address while my penthouse was being renovated. See you tomorrow, Rachel. Wear something nice. It's going to be a memorable day. As I left GlobalTech's offices for the last time, I passed the executive conference room. Through the glass, I could see my family in another late meeting, probably planning tomorrow's conference appearance. Mom in her power suit, Dad with his important papers, Jessica commanding attention. They looked so confident, so secure in their positions. In less than 24 hours, that confidence would shatter like the glass ceiling they never thought I'd break. The Tech Leadership Summit's main hall buzzed with anticipation. 2,000 industry leaders filled the auditorium, with millions more watching the live stream globally. In the front row, my family sat proudly, Mom checking her BlackBerry, Dad reviewing his notes, Jessica networking with nearby executives. I watched from backstage, adjusting my Chanel suit, a far cry from the practical office where they'd always encouraged me to stick to. Rachel stood nearby, practically vibrating with excitement. 5 minutes until the announcement, she whispered. The press is all in position. Social media teams ready. Your family has no idea you're not in the back with the tech teams. Marcus appeared, grinning. Ready to make history? Ready to correct it, I replied. They've been writing my story wrong for years. Time for a new chapter. The conference host approached the podium, tapping the microphone. Welcome to the 2025 Tech Leadership Summit. Before we begin our scheduled presentations, we have a special announcement from Victoria Corporation's CEO, Marcus Chen. I watched my family lean forward. Victoria Corp was the industry giant. Everyone knew they'd been planning something big. Marcus took the stage. Good morning. For the past year, Victoria Corp has been developing a revolutionary integration strategy. Today we're announcing not just a new direction for our company, but new leadership to take us there. Mom nudged Jessica excitedly. They probably thought this was Jessica's moment. She'd been not so subtly hinting about being headhunted by major companies. The future of tech isn't in traditional management, Marcus continued. It's in understanding the intersection of innovation and implementation. That's why I'm proud to announce Victoria Corp's new Advanced Technologies division, encompassing our AI, machine learning, and digital transformation sectors. Dad was already writing notes, probably planning how GlobalTech could compete. If he'd only known that their ability to compete was about to walk out the door, literally. This division will control over 60% of the market share, making it the largest technology integration unit in the industry. Its success relies on proprietary AI systems that have been quietly revolutionizing the sector for years. I stepped closer to the stage entrance, watching my family's proud expressions. They thought they were witnessing industry history. They had no idea they were about to become part of it. These systems, currently being used by major companies including GlobalTech Industries, were developed by one visionary leader. Someone who understood that true innovation doesn't always wear a power suit or command a boardroom, at least not until today. Mom's BlackBerry lowered slowly. Jessica stopped networking. Dad's pen froze mid-note. Please welcome the new CEO of Victoria Corp's Advanced Technologies Division, and the youngest division chief in our company's history, Sarah Chen. The spotlight hit me as I walked onto the stage. The audience erupted in applause, but I focused only on the front row where my family sat in stunned silence. Mom's BlackBerry slipped from her fingers. Dad choked on his water. Jessica's perfectly maintained smile cracked like cheap veneer. Thank you, Marcus. I took the podium, my voice carrying clearly through the hall. As my first official act as division CEO, I'm announcing the acquisition of GlobalTech's AI division, which consists of my team and my personally owned patents, currently licensed to GlobalTech Industries. The screens behind me filled with financial projections, ownership documents, and patent registrations, all bearing my name. These technologies, which have been responsible for 70% of GlobalTech's growth over the past 3 years, will now be exclusively available through Victoria Corp's new division. Camera flashes exploded as photographers captured the moment. In the front row, Dad was frantically flipping through his papers, probably searching for contracts he'd never bothered to read carefully. Mom had gone pale, likely remembering every dismissive comment about my computer games. Jessica's network of executives had suddenly found other places to look. Additionally, I continued, enjoying every second. I'm pleased to announce our division's first major initiative, a complete overhaul of corporate technology integration, replacing outdated systems and methodologies with our AI-driven solutions. The implications weren't lost on anyone. GlobalTech's entire business model had just become obsolete. For those companies still using last decade's technology, or even BlackBerries in 2025, I added, watching Mom quickly hide her outdated device, our team is prepared to help you enter the modern era. Assuming, of course, you have the right leadership in place. The audience laughed. They got the joke. In the front row, my family decidedly didn't. I'll be taking questions after the break, I concluded. Though first, I should acknowledge some people who made this possible through their unique form of motivation. I turned to the front row where my family sat frozen in their expensive chairs. Mom, Dad, Jessica, thank you for teaching me that leadership isn't just about presence or authority. Sometimes it's about quietly building something so revolutionary that the old way of doing business becomes irrelevant. I couldn't have done this without your constant reminders of what I supposedly couldn't do. The audience applauded again, many hiding smiles. Nothing entertains successful people quite like watching the mighty fall. Rachel appeared at my side with a folder. Your family's secretary is asking if you still want to attend their executive lunch today. I smiled, watching Mom frantically whisper to Dad while Jessica typed on her phone, probably updating her LinkedIn profile. Tell them I have a prior commitment, I replied. I need to finish setting up my new office. The one with the view they always said I'd never have. The irony wasn't lost on anyone when GlobalTech's stock dropped 30% by day's end. My parents' carefully built empire crumbled not because of external competition, but because they'd underestimated the quiet daughter who wasn't leadership material. Sometimes success isn't about proving people wrong. It's about proving yourself so right that their opinions become irrelevant footnotes in your legacy. And sometimes the best revenge isn't served cold. It's served from a corner office they said you'd never occupy.